When you play a game, oftentimes certain suboptimal behaviors take hold because of a fear of the unknown. And I'm not talking about a ooh, spooky scary kind of fear. I'm talking about a did the developers know what the fuck they were doing kind of fear. Hoarding is one such behavior that often manifests as a result of the fear of the unknown. Everyone has the experience of conserving that rare consumable that you can't buy in shops, even until the final boss. I'll have you know, those 99 elixirs will be useful if I get ambushed in the post-credits sequence. Of course, most of the time, hoarding is pointless and holds you back because the developers don't depend on you having those items. Most of the time, this is the case. But what if it wasn't? And one of my favorite games, Fire Emblem 8 Sacred Stones. Yes, maybe you won't need to save Seth's Silver Lance in the prologue because you can buy them later, but you won't know that unless you've played the game or read about it on the internet. Simultaneously, in another game that I like, Fire Emblem 5 Thracia 776, you are fucked if you don't have enough door keys for the final map. But of course, if you talk to people on the internet about this, you would know this in advance and will be able to plan around it. The only way that you can really know that the developer didn't make some stupid garbage that validates every single unfounded fear that you have is if enough other people have played the game and posted about it on the internet. For most big games, this is fine, as any big tips and tricks will emerge on the internet very rapidly these days. You won't get softlocked on your 30+ hour save file in a modern popular game. But what if you're playing an unpopular game? A very old one that no one cares about? What if you're playing a fan game that was made last week? An unpopular indie game? A ROM hack? Then, how do you know that the developer isn't a moron? Maybe that sword you used up in Chapter 1 is actually needed to get the true ending, or that your path is made unreasonably difficult because of a decision from earlier on. Simply put, you can't. In this case, hoarding instead might become an optimal strategy for your first and likely only playthrough, because you did not have the foreknowledge that the game isn't poorly designed. I argue that some classically suboptimal behaviors, like hoarding items, trying to grind XP in tedious ways, and so on, are not necessarily signs of a bad player. It's just a sign that the player doesn't trust the game. Whether or not this is warranted or not depends a lot on the specific situation. Sometimes it's warranted, especially if the player hasn't consulted external material or is playing the game completely blind. But the fact is that some games will mess you up for not properly allocating your resources. The real question is, well, is there enough reason to trust the developer? Sometimes you can gauge this by popularity alone. Generally, most popular games will be designed around the experience of a casual player. If you've played the developer's previous games, then there's some reputation that can be built up and be of use. But if you don't know the developer, that game is new to you or to the world as a whole. Or maybe you just don't play that many games and you haven't trained your grasp of this heuristic, then I think these behaviors are natural and in fact optimal considering the information that you're given. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm Excelum. I normally make videos specifically about Fire Emblem, but this is a more general video. Do you hoard in video games? Is this why you do it? What other things do you do because you don't know what's coming? Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you like videos like this and want to see more, please remember to like and subscribe. Thank you, and I'll see you all in the next one.